Hi everyone, welcome to Real Talk Media where we talk hustle, investments, money, and growth. On today's topic, we're talking on SAPA is not an investment strategy, but it's being broke a reason not to invest early. If you're watching this, don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe on our channel. Thank you. So today we have two teams, team investors and team SAPA.
Surviving Sapa.
Yes, team surviving SAPA. So let's start from team surviving SAPA.
For me, Queen Jane invest. No, I cannot stay. Hunger will be killing me. You tell me to use that money, I'm gonna invest. No, I can't do that. Me wait till they collect transport fare if I go home to my parents' house during the weekend. How will I start investing? So can I go on your
It's from that your transport now you invest.
So I use like
Investors, what do you think?
No, but then let's look at it this way. It's practically impossible for you to place SAPA and investment
exactly
in the same center.
How?
It's not possible. I don't know. Have you ever been hungry before?
No, I've never been hungry before.
Like, I really want to understand, like, by SAPA we mean surviving, right? So I think when we talk about investment is not all about bringing in too many wealth. It's all about being able to squeeze out something from the things you have to, get your life better.
So for how long will you keep squeezing
One
out?
thing is certain.
When you start,
Like squeezing out. Before you even squeeze out, you have to, there has to be something to squeeze out.
yes, exactly.
And you yourself, you will have to be okay for you to squeeze out.
Please, actually, what level of survival are you talking about?
SAPA kind of.
Being on the road begging, is that what you're saying?
Being on the road begging is not survival.
Okay, thank you. It's not survival, that is begging. So if you are the level of survivor, you can invest.
Invest.
How?
Now, when they talk about investment, most times people think about investment in the sense of buying land, properties. That's the mindset. Understand? You can be a hustler. Let's say you want to develop a business, maybe a low side shop or thereabout. You might say, I have this target. In as much as you might be seeing, let's say 10K a week. Because you and I know say 10K. It's not going to go a long way for you in this country now.
Yeah.
So you can be squeezing now maybe 2K. Understand? Per se. Because you already have a target. The problem with all this sci-fi of a thing is because we don't have that mindset of investing or developing ourselves for something.
Actually, wait,
Don't put
all these things you are saying is just theoretical.
No.
No, wait, calm down.
me.
Calm down.
Excuse
He has
me.
Calm down.
spoken. Let him
Excuse me.
speak.
Okay.
Let him speak. Okay.
Wait. You can't say it like that. That is political, like you said. If you have a plan and you decide to work towards it, you have to deny yourself some certain pleasures just to achieve it.
You're not talking
But
about
this SAPA now is they are talking about food
You're not even talking
kind
about
of SAPA,
Like so-
not
survive.
Remember,
not survivor.
she asked you, the supper you're talking about, is it that you are now standing by the side
No.
begging? And you said no.
You have
That
your
means you can
basic
still
needs.
comfortably,
Okay, let's make it clear.
you can
This
still
SAPA,
comfortably feed yourself. Per se.
Yes.
Even if you are not eating 3 times, you might eat once or twice, right?
yes.
So
Like you have your basic
if you can
needs.
still do
Okay.
2 times a day or once a day, you can still save something.
Okay, what if you don't have the food? Like you want to survive.
That means you're on the
To be-
street. That was the first question I
No.
asked. Are you on the street?
No.
If you want to survive, like there's nothing at all. That means the sapa you're talking about in Igbo, if you're not that one is
It's
not
not
sapa.
Let's
our
get
topic
this
right
thing
now.
clear. Okay, let's put an assumption now. Someone getting 5,000 in a week, should you invest or you should survive first until you start getting bigger amount of money?
The problem is that even the 5,000 naira, you can't survive it. That's what, okay, let's look at it from the aspect of, in Nigeria now, what is it called, the minimum wage is actually around 7,000, and definitely by the time you remove the tax that these government workers pay, you will left with something like 60,000 or
They pay
something
tax.
like that. So now, someone that is earning that amount of money and that thing
Earning how
is
much
his,
exactly?
or like, let's say, okay, let me say 70,000 a month,
Okay.
and that is the person's only source of income. Now you have to calculate the basic needs. The person must surely, in order to get that 70K, the person must surely enter transport to go to work and come back.
And
It's
it's
a
And the
family.
person have to eat.
But I want to ask
And the
you,
person has to be informed. And for you to be informed, it has to be online.
Alright.
So if you calculate
Alright,
all
excuse
these,
me.
wait, calm down. If you calculate all these basic needs, you see that even the 70K is not enough for you.
Million.
So at that point, what the person is actually thinking is how to what? First of all, survive.
I love what you said. Do you know that there are students that have POS joints that cook all these fast food? Once they are back from school, they just look for a small spot and start doing those things. They started small because they have the mindset. Now, if you're not calculating it on the place of supper you don't have, you will relax now. You finish the one you have.
I think
Yeah,
both of
and
you are from
tomorrow is
two
still-
different
wait,
places. You're
you have
talking
to-
about someone with a job
You have to
and
ask yourself.
someone
No,
that
you
has
wait,
not
to
a
say-
wait,
place.
come
no,
down.
that
Come down.
is
Even
apart
as
at the student that this person does not have money, right? Because they are still giving the person. Now, from that little he or she is receiving, they are making good use of it.
As a
Right?
matter of fact, in this case, you can't even use.
The two of
You
them are
can't
not
even-
related.
Can't even use student because I
Yes.
can remember when I was a student, someone has to pay my school.
Yes.
Yes.
exactly.
Someone has to pay your rent.
Someone has to pay my rent.
And
You
But
can
when
have
I
to stop.
like now,
Save
when
from
I
there.
have to do everything from beginning to the end. So it depends on how much you are in first.
so for me, I feel like even if you talk about maybe the minimum wage being something like 77,000, and you have to pay for your feeding, your rent, and everything, I feel like someone earning 77,000 shouldn't live somewhere luxurious. You should look for a house that is quite cheap, so that when you save from your salary every month, you'll be able to get, even if it's maybe let's say your rent is 80,000. If you save for 1 full year, which is 12 months, you know how much you'll be saving, so that you'll be able to get the 80,000 naira.
So
But this-
which means, yeah, come now, which means, you know, when you talk about invest, you have to invest something that will actually give you back something. So as someone that is just earning such amount of money and you are saving, you see that
Yes.
by the time you save from January to December, whatever you save from there, you simply use it and what, pay your rent
Yeah,
over.
and
Your life
investment
is
is
good.
I
different
mean,
from
You
I'm
set
not
it
talking
right.
about saving. It's still, we're still talking about you making use of your salary.
Yes, making
Yes,
use of
that
it.
was
You
fine.
because
Like
you
now.
mentioned that you would pay your rent from your salary, feed yourself, and many. And I'm saying, okay, then don't go to somewhere luxurious. If you can get a house of 80,000 naira and you save, let's say, 10,000 naira from your 75,000 naira every month, by the end of the year you're getting 120,000
to
Yes.
pay your
It's even
rent,
more
but
than
not
your
to
rent.
not to invest.
So the rest remaining from there, you can start
So I
somewhere.
want to ask you, is there any place that they pay 80,000?
Exactly, I know somewhere you pay less than 80,000.
Less than 80,000.
But because you're not earning much,
120
you may not even
minus
you may not
80,000
want
is
to live
7,000.
there. Actually, you
120.
may not want to live there. But the fact is that there is
Minus-
somewhere you pay 80,000.
Okay, when we are talking about, okay, you
Minus
said
80.
120,000 now, for instance. So what investment plan comes to your mind? 120,000. You remember when you talk about investments, like it is a kind of a money that you bring out, and when you put it into something, you like forget
Something
about it.
tangible.
You just have to forget about it, and you allow it to
That's
grow.
not
So
only.
with such,
That's not the
with
only
just,
definition of
we just
investment.
120,000. What are you investing?
That's not the only definition of investment.
So what?
Investments can come in place of starting up a business.
So when
And
you,
which you know, business is all about buying and selling.
In
So
other
you are
words-
seeing your money immediately.
in other words, when
No,
you
you're
are,
not seeing your money immediately.
No,
in other
You're
words,
you are
not seeing money
selling.
immediately.
You are having gain, ba?
in other words, when
Remember,
Isn't
as
it?
you're doing the business, I'm not going to name the business.
No, that
You don't
apart.
have to calculate
That
it like
that
that.
apart. In other words, if you are starting a new business, it's more like someone now having a kind of double sources of income, and it is in a situation whereby you have like double sources of income, or triple, or four, or five. That's when you begin to talk about investment, because you know that all those different sources of income that you have, they can actually, keep you surviving and also give you extra money to now invest. Now, let's say, what can keep me going for a month? When I mean going, I mean just the basic things. I'm not even talking about me going out to drink beer or me going out to have barbecue, chop fish. I mean the basic thing of I have to move from my house to my workplace. I have to eat. I have to, at least pay a light bill and all these things. Let's say it is just 10,000 naira a month, and what I earn a month is 10,000 naira. Do you know that if I insist that I must squeeze that money to save, and maybe I decide to bring out 3,000 out of that 10,000, do you know that I will go through so many stress, and in the process of going through that stress, there will be times I have to trek. There will be times I have to starve myself. And at that point, I'm doing all these things. My health is deteriorating.
Yes.
My mental health, at a point, like I will even break down.
Okay.
So
let me say something.
now, if my health deteriorates, if I break down, it is very, very. It's like it's clear. It is even clear that even that
You can
3,000.
still have health issues
Wait,
while taking your bike.
wait.
We're
Shall
not
I
talking
finish
about
up?
normal sickness.
Let me
We're talking
finish
about
up.
the sickness that comes
From that stress.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, even that 3,000 that I even squeeze out to invest will not even be enough to save me from that problem that I put myself into because I want to
Can
save.
you invest while surviving? Yes.
No. You cannot
invest
invest.
while
You
surviving.
can only.
What if you break down? What if you do not break down?
No, you
What
can.
if you don't get sick? What if I get sick?
You
Now, what if
cannot
you
say.
don't get sick?
You cannot say what if. It is normal. Let's say. Wait. It's normal. Let's say for the car. Let's use a car. Wait. Let's use a machine as an example. Let's use a car as an example. For a car to keep on moving, one thing remains certain, that you must fuel it. You must put it oil and water. At any point that fuel stops, the car stops. This is not for the fact that you keep on fueling this car and
The fact that you keep
the
on
car will keep on
you
going.
are alive.
Now, for the fact that because I want to save, I begin to starve myself, I will stop.
You don't even need to. You don't need to starve. You will die if you starve. You need to still be eating. But if you take transport
And
always, there are days you can trek.
No. Depends on the
Depends on the place to trek in.
No.
You can only trek because you can trek.
If you eat 3 square meal, you can go down to 2.
When I say surviving, I don't like. Let me tell you. Calm down. Let me tell you. Someone who can eat morning, afternoon. Wait, someone who can eat morning, afternoon, and night. If you ask me, I will tell you this person is not on his or her surviving mode. I can tell you. When we talk about surviving, we're talking about people that eat from hand to mouth. That for them to eat today, they must have to go and hustle for this. And at the end of the day, the money that comes into their hand is just money for them to eat. At that point, are you expecting the person to starve because the person wants to invest?
If there is a way you can trek to invest,
That is
you
No.
Which if you
can only
if
trek.
you even fly bike, you will
It's very simple.
If
It's very
you fly
simple.
bike, you will still fall ill.
It's very simple.
You will
Let
still
me
be killed if you fly bike.
It's
So
very
what
simple. It's very simple. We should normally life has no formula, but I want you to remember that you can only trek where it is trekkable.
Exactly.
There are other ways to get money. From that money.
In other words, at that point, no.
You will not be
No. At that
You cannot be any 10,000 to go to work somewhere that is not trekkable. Come on now, you are using it to feed
Look
them.
at
Someone that
I gave an example.
Someone that will trek to somewhere far, to go far to get to work, will be earning more than 10,000.
Remember, it is
You
an
cannot
instance.
use 10,000 to make somewhere that is untrekkable with your feeding in it.
Remember, when I mentioned 10,000 naira, it is an example. For me to even get
That's
a
why I'm
work,
also analyzing it.
for me to even agree to accept a work that gives me 10,000, it means that at least the money from that work can actually at least take me from my house to that work and feed me at least, even if it is once a day. The problem is because I mentioned
because
10,000.
you're saying this because
That is why I'm arranging what you
It's
say.
because I mentioned
That is why
10,000.
I'm arranging what you
Let's
say.
say, look at when I mentioned 10,000, I'm talking about for me to even get this one that gives me 10,000. It means at least it can take me from my house to the place. Whether it is by trekking or by entering bike or by entering keke, one thing remains certain.
if we give an example of this transportation, I feel like our environment makes it very opportune that your workplace is close to your house. If we go to locations, Abuja, Lagos, that your workplace, companies are very far from home, what would you do? You're not going to enter, you're going to trek. You can't trek.
Would you earn 10,000 in Abuja?
That's what I'm
Girl,
saying.
will you earn 77,000 in Abuja?
Chill. The transport
Do you know that most work in Abuja come with free accommodation? What are you saying,
What
girl?
kind of work?
No, wait, calm down. No, it's not
Doing
about.
as
Wait.
compass.
Okay, now wait.
As compass.
I love the point.
As
Wait,
compass,
I love
right?
what she said.
Will you
Now,
always
calm
leave
down. I love what she said. If
the
my
same
workplace
way?
gives me free accommodation,
This-
it means that there are a whole lot of expenses that I'm not going to
That's
do.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, and at that point,
To me,
wait,
can I
wait, at that
can I
point
answer her?
that I will.
There is no
Wait.
place that will
Can
give
I answer her?
77,000 in Abuja without
Okay, now.
a free accommodation.
Talk to me.
In ABJ, there is no place that will pay you 77,000 without free accommodation, and you live very far.
There are so
They
many
won't even give
places,
you the
man.
work. You do not live far. You can trek
Chill.
to that place.
I think the missing puzzle here is someone being readily available to grab opportunities. Because I'm sure that even all these people, the young girls, young guys that are trying to survive, when you engage them, you come to understand that they really have lots of things. They have business ideas upstairs, yeah. But then they are yet to see the opportunity. So at that point, they're just trying to survive. Immediately the opportunity comes to them, they grab it. When you begin to mention, you are calling Dangote, these people have, they have gone way too far. But then something is certain: if you actually come down to go down history and see how they rose to the point they are today, you come to understand that there was at a point in their life when an opportunity came to them. Like, it can be a financial help, it can be someone that is already rich, ready to invest in the young ones. That's the point here. At that point that you still have limited resources, what we are expecting from you is to at least have the knowledge, have the sense, have something upstairs, so that we know that the only thing that we're waiting for is something like an opportunity that will give you the resources to strike. So at
So
that
you don't
point,
support even little savings.
we are not talking about little savings. Before you even begin to talk about the little savings, you will have to, at least in your life, have the basic things. Let me tell you, someone who can comfortably feed himself, his or herself, clothe his or herself, pay his or her house rent. For me, that person is not experiencing sapa. The person is just comfortable. What the person now actually needs is to have this saving culture. But someone who finds it very, 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 very difficult to even eat will not.
So we're
begin
talking
to
about
talk
beggars. It brings me back to the question: are we talking about beggars here?
We are not talking
You're
about
not talking.
beggars.
See, it is not only beggars that are finding it extremely
Are we
difficult to
not
Yes,
feed.
talking
now
about
it's
the
not only
homeless?
beggars.
Are we talking about the
I thought,
homeless?
I thought
Like,
the context here is SAPA and being able to invest even
if
when
you are trying to survive, is that not the theme
I
of
thought
the
that is the
discussion?
context.
That is the context now.
Now, do you know that some certain people might feel broke when their money comes down to 20 million? I say na SAPA jifa. Some their own SAPA will be 500K.
This is a different. This is a different
let me tell you
perspective
something.
now.
Anyway,
That's the difference.
I think
We're talking about surviving.
We are not,
There's something
we are
I
not
want to
talking. No,
Someone who has 20 million is no
Calm
longer
down.
talking about surviving.
no, let me tell you.
The person is
Somebody
like they go
somebody
free.
that doesn't now
I
goes
think
down
you
to
are
20
limiting
million.
this investment to money so much.
No,
You
that
can
is not about
investing
it.
So
on
it's not
survival.
about-
It's
it's
not.
not-
It's
it's
not
not
just
all
all
about
about
money.
money. Actually,
It's not all about money.
Okay.
Yes, you are just limiting it to money. People, you can invest in yourself. They're investing in their stomach.
exactly the thing I want to
That's
say.
why they're talking about food. People invest in so many things. You invest with knowledge.
Knowledge.
Do you
Even those,
understand?
even those,
So somebody that is not
Dangote and
saving up
even
money
some,
and using the whole money to just to listen to things like go for classes, register classes, listen to some educative.
Even
That's
now those-
investment.
Investing your time.
Yes,
That's because
exactly.
you have.
Investing
That's
time.
because you have plan to
Yes.
get to a certain now, and those times that you are investing, some courses you have to pay, right?
Yes.
Now, why would you pay? Because you are aiming high. You are aiming somewhere. Now, when somebody is looking at his or her present condition, if I remove this money now to pay for this course, that knowledge will be there. You still not get
Yeah,
it.
that's the mindset. Like, I'm not saying that that is wrong. I'm talking about once you are limiting the investment to, we have just been
I
talking
don't know
about
if
money,
I'm,
money,
I don't know
money,
if I'm
money here.
really like getting this thing somehow. Investing wise survival is not all about having huge amount of money. It's about your ability to have financial knowledge, being able to save. Yeah, that is exactly what we're talking about, isn't
And
it?
then I'm actually hitting a point that for you to save, you have to at least be alive to save. And for you to be alive to save, you have to have the basic
The question
needs
is,
of life.
can you invest while you are surviving? Someone that is surviving can eat. You are on your survival
that's
money,
not-
but you feel like you cannot invest from your 77,000 naira
It's not about
because
that.
it can only pay your bills, give you food, do this, do that. But we're saying that you can still start saving something from your 77. If you must stop
I think
that,
we
that's
should,
their
your point.
survival.
Then
And
their
when you-
point, what their,
Wait, I
their
think we
point
should dialogue
is-
this thing and break it down.
Their point
Eh?
is that they need to pass through the SAPA stage. Then when they get out of it, they start.
You don't need to get out of it before you
That's
start
it.
to
They are
invest.
Now, let me-
Invest
investing.
with
Do you know that
That's
do you know that there are
mentality. I don't
micro
think,
investment platforms where you can invest with as low as 5,000 naira?
Of course.
I'm not supposed
And then
to
what's
be.
in
I cannot.
return?
Do you know that's the problem now? You're waiting for when you have it all figured
But no,
out.
it's not all figured out. No, it's not.
there.
See,
Somebody said
if
something
you
there.
if you
that I've not
invest, no,
forgotten.
look at you are looking. Okay, let us look at a situation whereby you are investing 10,000, and maybe they are telling you at the end of the month you are getting like 11,000, 12,000.
Not even
That's-
not even
that's-
investing 10,000.
that
You are
is
saving 10,000.
like,
Stop saying
so it's
investment.
as a matter of fact, you're just skipping the money.
The
It
only
is not an
the point
investment.
is that it's an investment because you get something in return. It's an investment.
It is
The only
not.
thing is that what you're getting in
Anything that
return
is
is something you
investment
do
and
not
there is
like.
nothing in return, it's not an investment.
You are getting something in
If
return.
you're
Even if it's
investing in
1,000,
knowledge,
So
you are getting knowledge.
so you're
If you're
trying.
investing in
So you're
business, you are
encouraging.
getting gain.
So are you trying
I
to
don't know if you understand.
encourage us to save, to keep 10,000 a year to get 12,000? That is extra 2,000 for a whole month. Okay, now that's extra.
let me
What problem can it solve for
teach you how to.
What can it solve for
If
you?
I give you 2,000, would you use it for anything now?
But there's
If you
no
give me
You're
two-
still
platform.
back home. Use it for,
Definitely.
thank you. You can do something.
There's no platform that will give you two
No,
thousand.
and then look at it. That's transport
Brother, if
back
they're
home
even
that
selling
is
it,
giving
start
you
from sale,
is
they will
simply
collect
you
at the end of it.
surviving.
The question
It is not
did
luxury.
you invest your money?
It is not
So
luxury.
did you invest?
For me to come from my house to work and pay my transport fare, it is not luxury. I'm not living in.
Okay, I want to ask you.
So and you don't expect me because I want to save, so I have to come and trek or like all the
I
way
want
from my house.
to see.
is just
I want to
here.
understand the question. Can you invest while you are surviving? Yes. But
For
what
me,
you can
no.
invest
No,
is
no,
small amount
you
of
can
money.
save.
You can't.
actually
You can't.
save
You can't
your
When
money.
you put
invest.
in money to get something, you have invested.
The fact remains
Just
that
like,
Get some-
just like you
fact
said
remains that you
before,
can't even
just like
save.
you said earlier, you said we are limiting this whole thing
To money.
to money. Now, let me comment.
Even in the money part.
There's a young
The only
lady-
problem is that they don't
There's a
like
young
the
lady in
return of
Nkoka,
investment.
a
They
friend
don't
of mine
like it.
told me that what she does is early in the morning she will come out. All these buyers, because she deals on all these lubricants.
Okay.
You understand? So
What
once
kind of lubricant?
For what kind of?
can
Okay,
understand?
okay.
So once
You are
you
evil.
see buyers and all that, she rush to his shop, take the oil, go and sell, take her own gain. From there, she started having all these small tables by the roadside. Then she will go and borrow and keep. After making sales, she will return the capital, hold her gain. Currently, the girl have a shop of her own. Now, do you know why I'm saying it? It's all about mindset. She didn't have anything at all from the beginning.
She has something.
Wait, calm down. Like the cash to start up the business.
And then what
Now,
did she
how
do?
did she start? Oga, please, I have a buyer. Can you give me?
So now why not look at it from the picture of what if she went to all those people that are selling and
We
they
are not doing no
refuse
assumptions.
and
No,
they
do not
refuse.
assumption.
No.
Telling
Well,
you
okay,
what
wait,
you're
Let me
telling
tell you
wait.
something.
No, you stated
anyone
it.
that
You
have
are
a
definitely
hustling
get
spirit-
help.
Wait. You
If
stated
A
it.
does not help you, B will help you.
You stated categorically that she was offered help. And why
She
was
was offered
wait,
help
calm
because she
down,
went
calm
for
down,
it.
calm down, calm down.
And she
Calm
being that
down.
she was
Wait.
in her house,
Wait,
that help
calm
will
down.
not come.
Calm down. I want us to arrive at something I said earlier.
Okay, so
Now, she was offered help Why was she offered the help? Because she at that point was readily available to grab that opportunity, and the opportunity is that help, which was what I said earlier. That the missing puzzle here is that we should talk about, are you even in that your surviving state, in that time that you are suffering, are you available to grab any opportunity? For that girl, yes, she was available. She has the skill. She knows how to sell. She was available, and when the opportunity came,
That
she
means
grabbed it.
she had an investment in herself that was not money, which was investment of
Knowledge.
what?
That's the mindset.
On a normal,
On the mindset that fetch that money
wait,
for her.
wait, on a normal, even let's even the civil servant you are using, someone that is even earning 7,000, earning 10,000, earning 100,000, all these people, they have something to offer for them to even earn that amount of money.
Exactly, because you have something to offer.
Okay, now
No, at that point that you
calm
see
down.
what you
Calm
are
down.
getting,
Excuse
look
me.
at me, look at me.
Calm
What
down.
is
Getting from
Can
topic,
you calm down
yeah?
a little?
You are moving away from this topic.
You are moving away.
Yes,
Calm
completely.
down. Do you know that so many realtors are into real estate with the mindset of, let me take the 10%. I will go and squander it and wait for another 10%.
the person is not surviving.
Why?
The person is not
Calm
thinking of
down
surviving.
first.
The person is
Calm
thinking
down.
of lavish. The person is just thinking of living a lavish
No,
lifestyle.
I'm talking about the mindset here.
Let me get what he's saying.
Why some other realtors, the mindset is building up themselves, building clients, having a mindset of open their own company. With so many companies that I see today was once realtors under a certain company. Understand? They didn't just come out.
And I want to ask you a simple question with this example you are giving. How all these realtors that later became CEOs of real estate and all those things, how did they even happen to have their own company?
Okay, that's a good question because they started serving
They started selling.
Under
Serving
a
is
company.
selling.
Do you know the point?
Having
I want
the
to ask-
And
I
wait,
want to ask-
and at that point they are selling. Money they enter hand.
I want to ask you.
Money they enter hand.
I want to ask you.
And
something.
as that money see,
That
and
person
as
was in his house. Will that money come?
if you're in your house, you're not thinking of surviving. You will just die
Talking
now.
about something else.
So that sapa was what motivated you to what? To hustle.
To
People
survive
like
first.
me, you people
And
say
then,
me.
at that point, no, at that point of you trying to survive, the opportunity came. The fact that you were hungry
The question.
and you wanted to do something
Wait.
to at least survive. But at that point, you are going out to see something to survive. You now hit a jackpot. And you use it to invest
You are
in
going
yourself.
out of the topic.
Okay, now what's it?
The topic is, can you invest while you are surviving? Yes. The only thing is, I've told you that there are investment platforms you can invest 10,000 naira and get return. You do not like the return. That is your problem. But do you know, can you invest and get
those
return?
investments-
No,
Yes.
that return,
No.
that return is still survival. Because
Let me teach you. No. That particular return you got, you may not even use it for anything. Let me even teach you something about some of these investments. You might even save it. You might be saving it for something bigger. Yeah. If you remain in your SAPA state, your survival state, and say that you're waiting for opportunity, what if you never can? It's when you begin to invest small money that you gather enough to get to somewhere better. Perhaps there is no help for you.
there is something we keep on
But I
missing.
believe
We keep
that
on missing saving.
Savings and investments.
And my question remains.
Investment.
My question
and
wait.
in
My
what
question remains.
investment
Calm
in
down.
this case?
My
Investment also requires what? Financial management.
Calm down.
You are saying that someone surviving cannot manage finance.
Calm
invest.
down. Because when you talk about you save financial management and all these
Yeah.
things, I can tell you that all these things are theoretical. Because for you to even, you know what it means for you to even say, let me bring out this money and keep. It already shows that as you are bringing out this one to keep, this one that is remaining here will keep you alive. Now the question is, if your income is not yet up to the level that they can even squeeze out something
let me
to
tell
survive.
you,
At
let
that
me
point, you
tell
are at
you,
the survival
there is
stage,
something I
and
said-
nothing will make you to want
There
to
is something
invest.
I said earlier. 7,000 naira, and you are living somewhere you pay 500,000. You would remain broke. If you are earning 77,000 and you're ready to invest, you go down to a house where you can pay 80,000 a year.
As a matter
That
of
is where
fact.
you will begin to live, so that you can have something to invest. Can you invest when you
Wait, as a matter of fact, how can you even, how can they be paying 77,000? You're living somewhere that
there are
paying
people
500,000. If you
Let's
calculate,
go down to
if
200,000.
you calculate your annual
Let's go down
salary,
to
sef, can you even
300,000.
no? If you calculate your
Let's
annual
go
salary,
down to
can you even pay for
300,000.
the rent?
Let's go to 300,000 even. Even if you're living somewhere that you earn 300, you pay 300,000. That's not where you're supposed to be.
So
living. With the salary you receive.
Do you actually think
so
of?
if you want to invest,
You are just saying salary, and
Don't
maybe
have
in
the
your mind,
mindset.
you are just removing the rent, and then maybe in your mind the
that's
remaining
not
money
what,
is.
no.
Then I asked you a question. Do you think? Wait,
I
calm down.
honestly believe investment is okay. You have 500,000 in your account, and you know what can sustain you for the year is 400,000. Everything. Investment is that 100,000. You know that anyhow, I won't touch this money. I believe that's what investment, good financial, someone that is financially inclined. That is how they
what
say.
if what you
Not-
get is 400,000 and you need 400 to survive in a year?
Then you use it.
You just have to
Yeah,
survive.
that's where this thing comes
If
in.
not, that's when
To
you go have
survive-
a financial mistake, because when you invest 100 and use 300, a problem will come. You will touch your investment and it's cutting short
Exactly.
what you think is building.
That's the thing.
See, let me.
When you touch your investment, that thing that you thought is going to multiply is not multiplying, because you want to get this thing. As somebody that is
Either
surviving,
way, problem will come.
Now who
Even
they,
if you're owing 500,
No.
you're any 500,
Now
you're
who
saving
they-
100,000
I
for
understand.
5 years.
I
And
understand
it's
that
500k.
understand
Yeah.
that.
now who they alive?
Problem
they
will
put
come
them
after 5
out.
years.
For the fact, the problem is not tampering with your health.
You should not.
Understand.
Everybody knows their
You
monthly
can get away with
expenses.
any kind of problem.
Whether
I don't know
you
if
are
you
earning
understand.
well or you're not earning
But
well.
the fact is not tampering with your health. That's the most.
And you think that
important thing.
financial
Even the person that is
financial
financially
stress
buoyant
or emotional
has
stress
some health issues that will be way
I
beyond
want
their
to.
balance.
I want
You don't know
to.
that
Even
all
if
these
you are
things can
financially
cause
stable
emotional
and your
stress.
health
You can
comes
still have
in,
health issue
you
that is
can
way
do good.
beyond what
That's what
exactly
I'm
my
telling
point.
you. Don't you think that overstressing and this whole thing can cause emotional stress? Or emotional stress is not
I
a,
don't
is not a,
understand what
is
you're
not a
saying.
health issue.
Overstressing
Now, let
can
me
cause
now come
emotional
in.
stress.
This
How
whole
do-
okay, I need to invest this thing. Then you now try to squeeze your whole life and you're doing this, you're doing that, so that you cannot touch this because of your investing. You don't think it's going to cause some emotional stress?
I don't really get your question.
Look at where I think I understood what she's
Okay,
trying to
yeah,
say.
clarify me.
From what she's trying to say, that okay, because you want to invest.
Mm-hmm.
You want to squeeze, like you say, I must invest, and you're trying to squeeze out money. And when you know that this money that is even available to you can barely carry you to survive, and then you still
So
want
that
to
means you're
wait,
not surviving
calm down,
yet.
calm
We are
down,
talking
wait.
about survival, not
Calm
carry
down.
you to survive.
Calm
You are
down, wait.
surviving with what you have.
That, you're still saying the same
So I don't
thing.
say it can barely carry you to survive. We are talking about you're already on survival.
Okay, let's say,
Good, so
let's
start
say
from
now, the
Your
what
point
can
of argument
wait,
is
calm
that
down,
you're on survival mode.
calm down,
Yes.
calm down,
You're not trying
calm
to
down.
survive.
Let's say, what can
Someone on
keep you?
survival
Wait,
mode is trying to
calm
survive
down.
and is not thinking of investing.
You-
wait.
if you-
As a matter of fact,
The question is, can you squeeze out something when you're on your survival
No.
mode?
the answer is
Survival
no.
money for a
Is
year
no.
is
Let me.
200,000.
And you earn
Maybe your
200,000.
survival, the way you feed every day is like 3 times in a day. You can limit, even if what
Remember-
you eat is a food of 2,000 naira, you can actually go down to 1.5. I've told you that your problem is not that you cannot invest; it's just that you don't like the return on investment. That's your
It is
problem.
not about the return on investment.
You do not like it.
Even before you get it, even before you squeeze out that small, to even put and even get the small return, you have to at least be alive.
Like there's this guy selling all this phone pouch, casing and all that. He do carry carton, understand, with few items.
Yeah.
Gradually started with new value. Then gradually now have to rent a shop. Understand? He won't have achieved that if the guy do not have the mindset of growing big. And when he was selling those ones that he was selling, he was saving to what? Reinvest into that business. Now, it now grew to the point of borrowing a wheelbarrow. From there, renting a shop, being a shop owner. Now, as somebody that is earning monthly salary, you might find it difficult to do. But for the fact you have the mindset, you have to first of all deny yourself some certain things for you to achieve a certain thing that you have the plan to achieve.
Okay.
But if you are now calculating it on the basis of, oh, what I'm achieving,
Well,
I'm getting is not much, you
it's
can never get to that stage.
it may look as if I'm getting your point, but then you know that when you talk about phone accessories, the first thing that comes to your mind, you have to think about the amount of money that business make. Phone accessories is not in fact, it is not a little business. It is not a small scale business. The only thing that you can talk about is because the way the business goes, you keep on growing. That is normal. Once you're not living a lavish lifestyle, you keep on going, because the example you gave now, I know that I have been into that business, and I can tell you for free that they make lots of profits in that business. So you can't even use such. In fact, someone who sells phone accessories is not really dealing with Saba.
It
don't
brings
think
us
you
to
grabbed the
whether
point.
pop.
Wait,
I don't think you
wait.
grabbed the point.
No, the
Wait,
Initially,
about
just-
this thing you told us now, you said that he started carrying phone accessories around.
yes. On his head though.
Okay.
No be
Shebi,
like all
when
these
he was
cartons.
carrying it, he was kind of saving, right?
Yes, solid.
And was he eating?
Of course.
Of course, yes, right?
Maybe
So
once
he
a
was
day.
kind of surviving,
Yeah.
abi? Now, you said that he also borrowed wheelbarrow,
Yes.
not buying.
He was on a survival mode before he now get to the point of owning a shop.
Yeah,
He
we're
was-
getting your point.
Buying phone accessories and selling, saving, surviving. He was kind of thinking of surviving, to survive.
Yes.
What got the barrel? Abi, when he borrowed the barrel, he did not buy it.
No, he didn't. And
He
he's
was
still
still-
paying for it, for that barrel. that he borrowed.
And he was still saving.
every day.
And was still surviving.
Mhm.
But what we do like think about the investing stuff? Was it not when his money got to the point of, okay, yes, I can actually use this now and invest or open a shop, right?
I don't think.
The fact
No.
is-
No, I don't think. See, there is difference between you planning ahead and planning when
You have
something
it
is
already.
already there.
Mhm.
When you have the plans ahead, you understand, it will help you to maintain
Save
yourself,
for it.
both self control on other things, or maybe the things you want for yourself. You have to cut some things down. I don't know if you understand, before you can achieve a certain thing. So if the guy do not have such plan for himself, he won't have gotten there.
This brings us to this topic now. Is poverty, is SAPA a mindset or a money issue?
Mindset.
It is a mindset.
Is SAPA a mindset?
Yes,
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. Reason is because, see, let me tell you something. Maybe you are a civil servant. Secondly, you are good with other things, or maybe after work, instead of going home to rest, there's another place you can go. Maybe your friend's shop or thereabout. Okay, yeah, let me be coming here, even if na 2K or thereabout.
But that's like
That
some
2K can be helping you for that night to feed. Why? When your monthly allowance comes in, you now divide. Okay, this one goes for this one. This one goes for
I
this
feel
one.
like you're giving
It's all
an
about
assumption
mindset,
of
because if you don't have the plans ahead, you can never achieve it. But you have to first of all beat yourself up to achieve some certain things.
And
But
survive.
You survive now.
You know one thing is that
Eh,
if you fix your mindset only for survival, you will keep surviving.
You keep surviving.
Because what you're earning is enough for survival.
See, let me tell you.
But if you want to go further, you can actually go further from your survival mode.
Wait.
I believe that the exact topic for this debate is, can you invest in your survival mode? An investment is something that when you put in, you get a return. Yeah. So I was saying that depending on the level you are, you can invest according to your level. There are investment platforms where you can invest as low as 5,000 naira, but you will not be expecting a return on investment of up to 100,000.
wait.
You can get up to 1,000 naira in return. See, the point is, when you invest 5,000 and you get something like, let me say, 1,000 or 1,500, you know that this platform
Which
is
duration
legit.
are you getting the
You know that
1,000?
this is legit. Wait, you know that this is legit. Assuming they say you should invest 5,000 and get 100,000, you know that you are bringing your money up for them to just, But the question is, can you invest in your survival mode? You don't just like the return on investment because you feel it's too small. It's 12,000. It's not. It's small. But would you get something? Can you invest? Yes. Would you get something? Yes. You don't just like the return on investment.
Please introduce yourself to us.
My name is Comrade Amandian Chukwemeka. I'm actually the state coordinator of our progress counseling, and also the administrative manager of Watch Medicine. My final conclusion still remains that instead of us saying that you can actually invest from your survival mode, I think we should be looking at how ready is that person that is still in his or her survival mode. How ready is the person to grab opportunities?
Thank you very much.
I am Real Talk Queen Jane, and I work with Archimate Eastern and Homes Limited. I'm their secretary. So what I have for those surviving is big on a chop first. First of all, think about yourself before you start thinking about anything, because before you start investing or you start even before you start even start saving, make una know do pass yourself. Cut your coat according to your size.
I'm Liana from Real Talk Media, and I'm a co-host to her. So, my final thoughts about this is, I believe that by investing on survival is not just about making a whole lot of money. It's about being able to take smart financial decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, and then investments, you can invest on many other things, not just all about money, about yourself. What I'm saying is that the actual title of this message is, can you invest in your survival mode? Yes, and I feel like their problem is that they don't like the return on investment. It's not like you cannot invest. They don't like the return on investment. And I'll end it by saying that nothing good comes easy. Okay? You would risk it to make it.
My name is Jashi Ebeku, the marketing manager of Ashmate Estella Groups, which I still stand on the investment. And my base is as a hustler, still on the survival mode. If you don't have the mindset of growing tomorrow, you can never grow, because you'll still be, running on the space of these little things I'm getting now. Let me just be surviving on it. But if you have this mindset of, I can build this thing to a certain place, a certain level, you will get there. It's all about the mindset. In as much as you are going to deny yourself some certain pleasure, a lot of things to get to wherever you want to. So you need to, at first, deny yourself some certain things for you to achieve a certain level that you want.
The bottom line is that being broke is not an excuse not to save or not to start small. Poverty is nobody's choice, right? But staying in it is our choice. Thank you, everyone. We've come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to like, drop your comments on our comment section, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. See you next time for Real Talk Media.